Bite-Sized and Bossy, rising up the ranks, handing out encouragement, deposits in their banks. Inspiration coming at you like a river flowing. Women paving paths, look at them going. Bite-Sized and Bossy, rising up the ranks, handing out encouragement, deposits in their banks. Inspiration coming.
Welcome, I'm Erin,
And I'm Tammy.
and this is Bite-Sized and Bossy.
Oh my God, I think we did it perfect.
Best time we've done it. Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, we have a special guest today. We're joined by someone who I adore and have loved for a very long time.
She really does love her.
I do. I talk about you a lot.
I told
I'm
her
like,
she had to intro her because she loves her so much.
yes, and I get mom happy when I'm around you. Like I feel like a proud mom. So this is Olivia Ross. Not that she's young.
Yeah,
I don't know which way to go with that. Like,
she's like
she's
closer
not,
to not young.
Yeah, no, yeah. But you're not old either. So Olivia Ross is with us. She leads all digital, everything digital at El Pollo Loco. So Olivia, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. We're happy to have you. So Miss Olivia, you have to tell us who you are. You have to tell the audience why Erin loves you so much. What is it that you do? Who are you? What's your title?
Sure. So my name is Olivia Ross. I'm the Director of Growth and Digital Innovation at El Pollo Loco. I've been there for about 4 years. Fun fact, Erin was with me on my journey as I negotiated my job here at EPL. So sorry, El Pollo Loco, if you didn't know that yet. But she definitely was there as a pillar of somebody, as I was coming up through the industry, right, and needed somebody to bounce ideas off of, ask questions. You don't know these things. Like,
Well, you had to decide which way to go.
Yeah,
Wait a
I didn't
minute,
even
wait,
know
wait,
where to go.
How did you meet Erin? So it sounds like
Oh,
she's
yeah.
functioning as a bit of a mentor. I feel like I'm going to
Sure.
mediate this discussion
Oh,
between
yeah,
you
yeah,
two
yeah.
today. But how did you meet Miss Erin?
I
Andrea?
met you through Andrea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Andrea
well,
or
who's
Andrews?
Andrea? Let's reveal the big secret,
Yeah.
girls.
Andrea used to be a VP over at Brand Innovators, and she really did a great job of connecting different marketers with one another. And so I had reached out to her and I said, hey, I'm at this very pivotal point in my career. I don't really have people to tap on. Could you connect me with some people that might be able to help? And through a series of phone calls, I met Erin. And Erin was the one person that was willing to give it to me straight, right? Like a lot of people said, you can do whatever you want. It'll be great. You can go any direction. And well, I think that's fantastic advice. It's not as practical sometimes. You really do need a structure in your career. And that's what Erin was able to give to me very quickly and help me navigate what was probably the most important decision in my entire career.
Well, what was the decision?
What job to take?
Oh, you had multiple offers.
Yes, she did.
Okay,
Sure
so this
did.
is pre-EPL.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's talk about it. How the heck did you end up at EPL? Like what, not even why you chose them, but rather how did you get the job interview?
Yeah, so this was at a time where I was really trying to branch out, network, learn a lot about the industry, meet a lot of people. And Andrew Rebin, who used to be at El Pollo Loco, now at Cava, found me through an Adweek connection, and we instantly clicked, kind of being in the industry. It was a group
Well,
of
he's
like
great.
500 of
He's
us.
absolutely great.
He's wonderful.
Well, wait a minute. Does this mean you were in a restaurant company before?
I
So
sure was.
Okay,
yeah.
tell us where
I
you were.
was. I was in a regional brand named Halo Burger, based
Okay.
in
In
Michigan.
In Detroit.
In Flint, actually.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Right at the height of the Flint water crisis, which was a different story we won't get into today. But really, really awesome city. I mean, truly an amazing city. The people that live there are incredible people. They've done so much for the community, and being able to be a part of that story was really wonderful. But it reached a point where I knew I wanted to grow in my career, and they were happy being a regional brand. And I said, okay, like fantastic. It's time for me to really spread my wings. And that was kind of it all came to be. I met Andy, ended up at EPL.
Well, and you had two offers. You had an offer
did.
that would have given you a bigger title,
Mhm.
but different, like monetary. And then you had El Pollo Loco offer. And so there was a lot of conversation about what's the right avenue to take. And then how, once you chose that avenue, how to actually negotiate it, right? Which what we've learned is a lot of women don't know how to negotiate.
Yeah, I
And
don't. You're going to have to tell me.
well, I mean, I was able to share with Olivia and we worked through a lot of it, right? Do you remember that?
I sure do. I remember Erin telling me pick 2 out of these 3, right? Like pick 2. You can't have it all. So what's going to matter most to you? And having those priorities in order as I went into negotiation really helped me know what I was willing to kind of stand for, and ultimately got a fantastic offer out of the deal.
You got more than you expected.
I did.
And
Awesome.
you were able to work for a company that's based in California, still living in
Detroit.
Detroit.
Wait, so
Yes.
did you do this intentionally so you could like travel back and forth to California?
That's what I do.
I mean, I'd love to say yes. I would love to.
But now you've been there for, what did you say?
Almost 4
Oh
years.
my God, we've known each other a while.
So what have you done at El Pollo Loco since you've been there that you're most proud of? Like you've done a lot, obviously, in digital, but what have you done that you're like, this really speaks to my career. This is something I'm going to put on a resume that I'll have forever.
Yeah. I mean, I think the pivotal one, right, is relaunching not only the loyalty program, but also the app, the website. So there's tons and tons of work that goes into that for months behind the scenes, analytics, data, all the good things. And then really having it all come out at one moment where people can see this brand new experience that's built for them. And so that was so cool, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm in marketing because I like to make people happy. I love to ensure that people are having a great experience. And so this is a touch point where people can find joy and people can engage with your brand as little or as much as they'd like. And being the architect of that is really special.
I love that you said bring people joy, because a lot of marketers set out to really just make people miserable, right? You're like, no.
Extra clicks and
Yeah.
confusion on where to go and all
But
those
no, you're
things.
very good at it. So tell us about home life. Like, what's going on? 1 year ago, something else was going on.
1 year ago, I just got married. So we just
Ooh.
celebrated a year of
And you
marriage.
came to a conference like 2 days later.
Yeah.
What?
I know. It was like a week.
You didn't go on a
Italy.
honeymoon?
We did. We went in September. So we had a delayed honeymoon. We went to Italy for 2.5 weeks. It was beautiful and gorgeous, but didn't want to go in the height of summer. My husband cannot handle the heat. And so knowing that, I said, okay, let's wait. Like, let's just take a break and we'll go when you can handle this. So we waited a few months, and I had a really fun opportunity here to hang out with people that I love to chat with and speak at Industry Now, which is a fantastic summit.
So Olivia
Gosh.
came up to me yesterday and she said, "You want to see my garden?" And I said, "I don't
It
know what
wasn't a
that
euphemism?
means." And she goes, "No, do you want to see my garden?"
Yeah.
And she goes, "I'm boring." And I went, "What?" So for those who don't know, including Tammy, tell us about this garden.
I saw a picture.
Did you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
describe it.
So we moved last year. In addition to getting married, we decided we would do everything at once and just buy a new house. So we did that, and it has a beautiful yard. I like to garden. I like to grow vegetables. I like to grow flowers for vases. But we have a really bad squirrel problem.
I mean, squirrels, they're a
Okay.
bitch.
They're
yeah.
horrid.
They're so
Ugh.
cute.
They're
My dog
so
likes
evil.
to chase them.
Yeah,
Some of
bring
them
your dog.
fly.
Oh, great.
You should get a dog.
Oh, I should
It'll help
really.
keep people away from the garden.
My husband told me no.
Oh,
She has
well,
cats.
we don't
Let the cats
listen to
outside.
men. We don't
Well,
allow them to say
Well,
no. Do
Yeah,
we?
I don't have one that I'm supposed to listen
Oh.
to, except for maybe my dad on occasion.
Yeah. All right, so this garden, there's multiple beds in this garden.
There's multiple beds. Yes.
What are
it's
you
quite the
planting?
production. We've got vegetables. We've got flowers. We've got all the herbs, all that type of stuff, and it's fully enclosed.
Is
Squirrels
it
can't
all
get
the
in.
herbs?
I mean, not those type, but maybe
Is
next
that
year.
how you wink?
Maybe next year. And
Jesus.
I do grow all of it from seed
the
in my
Botox.
basement.
She had to really work for that.
She tried hard.
Well, I love your garden. It's
Thank
beautiful.
you.
And your winking was okay.
Was much better. We should go visit your garden. I think
Anytime.
we should do a home swap.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, we could just like rotate houses.
Or you can just come over.
Right.
I
but
do
it's
want
cold
to
and
come.
far.
Come in the summer. Don't come in the winter. The garden won't be in bloom then.
Yes, I was asking Olivia, like, what do you? How many months can you garden in Michigan?
Like 6 to 8.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I could be into it if I only
I
had to
think
do
I
it like
get
half
2
the
to
year.
3. Like,
Oh,
meh.
that's sad. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
it's
mean,
colder there.
Wisconsin. Yeah. What can you do? Well, Olivia, so when you think back on your career and how you got to where you're at now, where do you want to go from here?
Well, I love digital. I love the digital space, right? I think it has endless opportunity. And so continuing to grow in this kind of area of the business is hopefully what I do short term. Long term, I would love to be a CMO. And
Okay.
So that's my North Star. But I understand, along the way, we all take steps to get there. And I don't believe in shortcuts. I really don't. I believe in learning every step of the way. And
I do. I cut corners every which way.
Yeah, right.
love
Isn't
that
it? That's
for
what
you.
AI is for.
Yeah,
So,
I know.
legitimately, like, what do you think? I mean, not that she's looking to leave by any means, but what would be your next step? So, if someone's out there listening, going, "Wow, I'm looking for blank," and I just listened to this podcast, and this girl would be perfect. What's your next step?
Yeah. Ideally, a VP of digital role.
Okay.
I would consider VP of marketing roles, stuff like that, right? Where I can start to elevate.
How big of a company?
I love mid-sized QSR brands. I love it.
So we're talking like 300 to 700 units,
Mhm.
right? Okay.
So what is that? That's funny that you guys consider that mid-size.
Oh, what do you
I'm
consider
like,
Yeah, what are you
mid-size?
saying
50?
mid-size? 50?
Oh.
50
Oh.
to 200.
Oh.
That's literally the mid-market.
All right, we're gonna go upper mid market.
so
I'm going to
upper.
go mid-enterprise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, so you want a VP of digital type of title. And I would ask this to actually you as well, Erin. What is really the difference between like isolating digital and a CMO? Like in today's environment, how is digital different than just marketing?
I think digital is a piece of marketing. right?
Agreed.
So I think the CMO needs to really lead brand strategy, which is going to include digital, but it's also going to include product development, insights and analytics, customer care if it's not sitting in digital already, and having all of those pieces really coming into them so they can orchestrate that. Whereas digital is kind of really the arm where you're going to have your owned and your paid channels working really hard for you. And I think
Yeah.
those are they have so much depth, right? Like there's so much to it.
Do you
Changes
guys
by the
bid
day.
on your own branded keywords?
We do, yeah. I know.
That's not like a trade secret or
No,
something.
no. It's
It's
good
a
to
debate.
do. A lot of companies feel either side of that, right? Some companies don't want to, but my feeling is if you don't bid on them, someone else will. So if I search El Pollo Loco near me, and all of a sudden I don't pay attention, and McDonald's shows up, not that it would, but like maybe it would,
Maybe.
because they're bidding on your term. I click on it, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh well, that like kind of looks good, right? Because people are gullible. They go whichever way they search.
Mm-hmm. People
Well,
want fast.
Here at the conference, the first session, the opening session yesterday, I think the guy from And Pizza was talking
Mhm.
about that, right? Specifically, like asking the same question:
Yeah.
Are you bidding on your own search words? And remind me of his position.
He said that he was in favor of it after a
Yes.
test.
Yes.
He was not a believer, and then he became one.
Yes.
Yeah, he was not a believer when he was on the other side of the
Because he
fence.
came from SEO.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
exactly.
super interesting, and
It
good for him
was.
to admit.
But, and I think it's important to know, because a lot of CEOs out there will say, well, of course people found us because it was our word. And I was like, well, if you're not there, someone else will be.
Exactly.
So that's great. So how do you measure your success at El Pollo?
So it looks different in every different channel, right? You've got things like ROI, you have things like return on ad spend, you have kind of how are you growing customer lifetime value over time. Ideally, you're able to kind of actualize that across all platforms.
Mhm.
That's not real for most brands. I wish it were. I truly do. But I think the closer you can get to a unified point of view, right?
Yeah.
And the closer you can bring things to parity is the easiest way to start to articulate success. And so for us, it's really just how are we growing the ultimately just how are you contributing to the bottom line? And if you can articulate that and why, right? That's important. I said this earlier in my presentation that it's one thing to go into the C-suite and say, hey, like this campaign made $10,000. Let's just use that number. That's great. And the next question from the CFO is going to be, yeah, but it probably was for people that were going to come anyways. And you're like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then go back and run it with a holdout group and be able
Yeah.
to show those incremental results. And I think that's where marketers start to fall flat is like they're not actually able to articulate where that incrementality came from and then take it a step further, right? Like run an A/B test, be able to speak to what performed better on this
Yeah.
image or that image. And now you have a strategy you're starting to build because you can go
Yeah.
back to creative and say, hey, build more like this instead of stuff like this.
That's
the
great.
magic.
So how do you, if you're at a pretty large brand, I know mid-size, but at this mid-size brand, imagine you're at a small brand.
Mhm.
How would you go about sort of executing that? How do you figure out your ROAS and your ROI?
Is that what you call it,
I
Roy?
just made it up.
Yeah. I mean, return on investment, right, is really what's going in and what's coming out. If you
Mhm.
spend $1, what do you get back? I think there are ways to do that in a multitude of approaches. And specifically, I mean, you should be able to look at something as simple as like a loyalty program, right? What are you spending on the software? What are you spending on the resources to run it? And what is the discount that you're spending? And then what are you getting out of this program? And that's like a simple example, right? But there's many of them across the different marketing channels that we all manage and love. So I think it's really just taking stock of what do you have at hand. I mean, you should know what you're spending. I really hope you know what you're spending. And then also what are you getting out of it and being able to calculate that equation.
How do you measure loyalty? We're working with a brand. They have a loyalty provider, and the loyalty provider is giving them some data. on how they're performing, and they say to us, we don't trust it. We just want one metric that we can just measure over time.
No.
So how do you measure loyalty? I know. And then they wanted a frequency number, but I was like, okay, well, over what period? And they couldn't wrap their hands around that concept.
Yeah.
So how do you measure loyalty success?
Yeah. I mean, we're looking at it from a standpoint of what is the frequency and customer lifetime value of a loyalty guest versus a non-loyalty guest, right? And ideally, it's higher. If it's not, you might want to take a
Do you
step
look at
back.
average ticket
What was
too?
that?
Average ticket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's frequency and AOV are your customer lifetime value, right? I like to look at it over a year. It's totally up to you. If you want to do 6 months, it doesn't matter as long as it's apples to apples and what you're comparing it to, right?
That's how I feel about it too.
We should do some food for thought.
What do we want to think about?
Oh, all right. Well,
Food?
thoughts. All right. When you're not gardening, not something I've ever said, but when you're not gardening or with your husband of 1 year,
Or the cats.
or, oh, yes, and the cats, or working, what else are you doing? What are these hobbies that you have?
And ironically, too, I'll just add, my cats came up in our wedding vows way more than we planned. It became
Oh.
like a joke. So
Oh.
weirdly, we've become cat people. But beyond gardening and hanging out, we're actually big gamers. We love to game.
What
Like
kind of
video
games?
Yeah, I love gaming.
What, like,
She's so much
what
younger than us.
game? Like, what are we playing?
So I allow
Tetris?
myself
Super
No,
Mario Brothers?
No.
Pong?
I don't.
So
no,
there's
no.
many options, right? I love Nintendo games. I have
Like old school Nintendo, new school Nintendo.
both, but I'm playing more new school stuff, right? Like anyone listening that loves Zelda, we're in good company.
So you're not doing Duck Hunt.
No.
What is that?
I love what? What? Like
don't
the
know.
original Nintendo, you had like the fake
Oh.
gun and you shot the duck and you go bloop 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 bloop.
And they would fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
No, we have better games than that now.
Oh.
Sorry.
All right. So
Are you
Nintendo,
playing
what
like
else?
Call of Duty where you're like beating hookers and stealing cars?
Are you talking to people?
Is that Grand
You-
Theft Auto?
No.
Are you
no,
wearing
no,
the
no, no.
headset?
No. But what I am doing is I'm talking to my friends who are playing the same games, right?
Oh, so you're in a gamer thing.
Well,
Like,
I mean, they're my friends I hang out with outside of this,
posse.
too. Sure, I guess, if you want to
But
call
they're
it that.
humans. They're
Yeah,
real people.
I grew up with them. Yeah,
Well, that would be
I know them.
awkward.
They're not all in their mom's basements.
No,
Oh,
none of us are in
so
our mom's
fascinating.
basements. Yeah,
and
we're
you
all in homes that we
game.
own.
All right. What else do you do
Oh my God.
outside of gaming?
I like to cook.
Okay.
Kind of goes with gardening.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
I like to make chicken piccata.
I don't even know what that is.
It's chicken. With
It's
piccata.
chicken with lemon,
Oh.
capers.
All right. I'm coming for dinner.
We love
And
a
light
chili.
breading, some
Yeah.
mushrooms sometimes.
That sounds good.
Chili's good. Pasta salad in the summer because we garden, right? So like we have all the vegetables right there. So it's fun to
All
find
the
ways
herbs
to use it
With the
Mhm.
wink.
Herbs with a wink.
I have all the herbs with the wink.
I bet you do.
Come visit. I've invited you multiple times. Next time you come
I
to
know.
SoCal.
Well, I'm coming next week and you're not going to be there.
Yeah, but you can still stay.
Okay.
It's awesome. You can totally stay. People
Your
stay at my house all
question.
the time. Oh, it's my turn. Okay, so what's your favorite kind of music?
Ooh, okay. I don't have a favorite genre. I like everything truly, maybe except Screamo. I love Jimmy Buffett though.
He's dead.
Amazing.
I know. He died right around my
Yeah.
birthday.
Oh.
Oh, so
Do you want to
sad.
hear a really cool thing about Jimmy Buffett, though?
Yeah.
So I follow this band called Yachtly Crew, which is like a yacht rock cover band, and it's super fun. People just
Like
get
Motley.
super wasted, and sing along. And Jimmy Buffett wrote a song with them right before he died.
Really?
Oh,
He
wow.
produced a song with them.
That's cool.
Oh my
Uh-huh.
gosh, I need to hear it.
Yeah,
My
well, come
bachelorette
see
party was
Yachtly Crew.
themed Jimmy Buffett.
Did you Margaritaville, everything? You did all of it. That
It's
makes
so
sense.
much fun.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
All right. So if you could have dinner with one famous person, who would it be? And you only have 10 seconds to answer.
Steve Jobs.
What?
Okay,
that was
why?
so fast.
I love.
He's dead too.
I know.
But he was kind of a dick to his kids and
I
his family.
He wore
know.
the same clothes. I don't know if he smelled or not.
I know.
I don't think he smelled. I think
No?
he had people to wash him.
Yeah.
Oh, people to
Maybe.
wash
I
him. I,
mean,
don't
that's
have anyone to
intense.
wash
Why
Yeah.
me.
Steve Jobs? Because you're a big fan of Apple?
I'm a big fan of Apple. I grew up in a
Okay.
household that was Apple only,
Okay.
which was, pretty early to be an Apple only household. So early adopter. My dad works in the tech space, so no surprise where
Yeah.
I ended up. And I've always admired the simplicity yet sophistication of what they've been able to build. I think, sorry, Apple, it's changed a lot over the
Yeah.
last few years,
Mhm.
truly, and since he's departed. But I do think he was a visionary in his own right, and I would just love to hear how he thinks, Those people think in a different way, and
Yeah.
it's so fun and fascinating.
I love that.
Yeah, I would agree. Okay, where's the next place you want to go on vacation?
We want to go to Oktoberfest this year.
That's right.
Wait, like in Germany?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
What are you going to do there?
We have
Drink
Oktoberfest
beer.
in Wisconsin
Are you
too.
a big beer fan?
No, but I love just travel and experience. So I think that would be really cool. And I'd rather do it now.
So I have a
Have
friend who
time.
went in the industry. I can introduce you to
Oh,
her.
please do.
She and her husband actually wore like the outfits. They wore the lederhosen, and I have a neighbor who's 86 and German, and she would be happy to give you some tips.
Can she let me borrow her outfit?
I don't know if you want to, but
Ooh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, we can look into outfits for you,
Okay.
Olivia.
Deal.
I can help mentor you through that as well.
Thank you.
So our last question, which first of all, it's been amazing to have you. Our last question we ask everyone who comes on the podcast is if you could nominate one amazing woman to come on or that you would want to listen to, or women, who would you nominate to come on the podcast?
I am so incredibly inspired by what Kim Freer is doing, and I think she would be an incredible guest on this podcast.
and
so
remind us, where's Kim?
Kim is at Raising Cane's right now.
Oh,
All right, Kim, you heard that here. We need to get you on this podcast. We want to hear about you, and Olivia wants to listen to you. So that's amazing. Thank you so much for coming on. Olivia Ross, you are doing amazing, amazing things for El Pollo and in our industry, and you've helped a lot of women, and I know you spoke today and did an amazing job. So this is Bite-Sized and Bossy. Like, subscribe, share, all the things that you can do. Rate us, whatever.
Apple, Spotify.
Yes, Apple, Spotify,
YouTube.
YouTube, all the places that we are. But thank you for joining us this week, and we'll see you next week.
Bite-sized and bossy, rising up the ranks, handing out encouragement, deposits in their banks. Inspiration coming at you like a river flowing. Women paving paths, look at them going.